Magic items in any given role-playing game are always cool to find. GameMasters here, and today we're checking out the 3 new magic items found in keys from the Golden Vault. While there are more magic items in the book, these 3 are new and are considered to be MacGuffins. That is, the object that the party is searching for, the element that drives them forward. The Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones would be one prime example. In a more recent movie, the Marvel movies, for example, a MacGuffin would be the Infinity Stones. And I think it's also important to note that the magic items, because of their MacGuffin status, may or may not have bearing specifically for the characters. In other words, the characters may or may not benefit directly from the magic powers that these items contain. Okay, so MacGuffins aside, these magic items do offer some interesting effects and possibly complications for the players. With Keys being a book of heists, it's a sure bet that these magic items will be among some of the objects that they will have to obtain. First up is Constantori's portrait, and what's interesting here is that it mentions that the artist may have very well painted other portraits, perhaps with slight differences. This specific one was painted by famed artist Takeshi Kwan, and it depicts Constantori and was commissioned by a crime lord by the name of Gristhorn, who was known to give magical paintings away to associates. This painting is sentient and is considered to have lawful evil alignment, has an intelligence score of 14, wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 8. It has an armor class of 12, 20 hit points, and is immune to poison damage. It can hear within a range of 120 feet and has dark vision out to 60 feet, except it can't see behind itself. It's demanding and vain, giving protest to anyone who would cover it up or tries to remove it from its gold leaf frame. It can converse in Common, Draconic, and Elvish, but the painting's mouth, it doesn't move. And while it can speak, it may simply opt to just hang on the wall and listen, gathering in secrets, perhaps of significant events or eavesdropping on political conversations. Because of its ability to eavesdrop, its primary purpose was to do exactly that. And because the owner was a crime lord, with which the painting was attuned, it can telepathically contact that crime lord and divulge all those secrets, plans and passwords and the like. The painting can protect itself and guard its location from anyone whom the attuned deemed to be an enemy. The painting has 3 charges, which it regains each day at dawn, but it can spend a charge to cast Magic Missile in order to protect itself. The question is, if the crime lord that it is attuned to retires, what happens? One item that isn't in the book, but I'll give you as a bonus, is Bigby's thumbs up. It says that if you're enjoying this video, to give it a thumbs up, which helps to spread the video out to more eyes, and I thank you kindly for that. The next magic item is the Shard of Xeluan, and it is a wondrous rare item that requires attunement. It's roughly a 1-foot long shard of obsidian that has veins of silver and gold running beneath its cold surface. While holding the shard, it can be used as spellcasting focus and gives the holder +1 bonus to spell attack rolls. It also enhances one's strength score by a whopping 4 points and can raise your strength above 22. Now, while that sounds good, this item is also cursed, which causes misfortune to befall you. When you roll a 1 on an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you then roll on the shard misfortunes table to determine the ill effect. But the saving grace is you can only suffer from 1 misfortune at a time. Only remove curse or similar magic can remove that curse. Some of the misfortunes are, you could cut yourself and become poisoned. You may experience a vision of such profound sight that it stuns you. Beasts may suddenly become hostile towards you, or you might find that you have disadvantage on your ability checks. The last magic item featured is the Shard Solitaire. Now, how do I describe this? Okay, so years ago, someone had a bag of holding full of gems and jewels. They dropped it into a portable hole, and you guys know what happens when you cross those streams. Yep, an explosive portal was created to the astral plane. One of the diamonds that was in the bag of holding absorbed some of that energy and was transformed into the Shard Solitaire. Now, what I don't like is that the adventure this diamond comes from does specifically state that the characters never actually get the chance to wield the power of the diamond. However, it does state that it is possible that there are other gems out there with similar magical properties. Though, to be honest, if I like what this thing does and can see a cool factor in my players having it, guess what? They're going to play with it. But more on that in a moment. Here's what the Shard Solitaire can do. It is a gemstone, a diamond, that contains an unstable extra-dimensional rift. As a bonus action, while wearing or holding the diamond, you can teleport to an unoccupied space within 30 feet, but you can tap into its extra-dimensional rift and move an additional 30 feet for a total of 60 feet. However, if you do, you gotta roll a DC 16 Constitution save, else you're gonna take 3d10 force damage after teleporting. Further, the gem has 6 charges, which it regains 1d6 each day at dawn, but you can cast the following spells with this diamond: Banishment, Mirror Image, Ice Storm, and Simulacrum. Different spells cost different amounts, so spend wisely. I mentioned that there are other gems out there, and this table shows what the powers of each type might have. But should you include this or these items in your game, you can just as easily adjust the spells to suit your table's needs. While we are only getting 3 new magic items from this, what we are getting is fairly cool. Is the book worth it just to have those magic items in detail? No. And keep in mind that for the most part, they're included only to serve as a means to further the plot, to drive the characters to an endpoint within the heist itself. A MacGuffin. What I'd like to know from you all, if you were planning a heist in a fantasy setting, let's say you were breaking into a thieves guild to liberate a MacGuffin, what would be the #1 magic item you'd want? A ring of invisibility, a potion of strength, maybe boots of climbing, something else? Let me know down in the comments, and until next our paths cross, may you not get ratted out by a painting.